Doctors have been telling us about the surge in young children getting very sick from a respiratory virus.
Well, that's because they were at home during the pandemic, sheltered from viruses that can strengthen their immune systems. Now a vaccine for one could be on the horizon, and medical reporter Meg Fair is joining us now in studio to explain. Meg?
And this is good news. Each year in the U.S., around 58,000 children younger than 5 years old are hospitalized with severe complications from RSV infection. About half the children being treated now at Children's Hospital here in New Orleans have RSV or some other respiratory illness, and there's no peak in sight. But now a vaccine is showing promise for RSV. For many years in clinical practice, WWL-TV medical correspondent Dr. Corey Hebert has seen RSV.
Dr. Hebert, have you seen babies die from this infection?
Oh,
this
absolutely.
virus?
Absolutely. All the time.
The virus infects us all and can feel like a cold, but for the very young and premature babies, it can take their short lives.
They just don't have the lung capacity to be able to get through it, and they don't have the antibodies that adults have for having seen this their entire lives.
Doctors can only treat the symptoms, and depending on insurance, some weakened or at-risk babies can get doses of medical antibodies when they're well, in case they're infected.
I have been fighting for 20 years to try to get the monoclonal antibody commercially available for all children, because just because you are a term baby without a medical problem, it doesn't mean you can't die from RSV, but it was just cost prohibitive.
But now Pfizer is releasing data from its RSV vaccine study. The pharmaceutical company says the shot, when given to 7,400 expectant women, passed on immunity that's nearly 82% effective against severe respiratory illness in babies up to 3 months old, and nearly 70% effective up to the first 6 months of age. There was also a 50% reduction in doctor visits.
We've been looking since the 60s for a vaccine for RSV. It's just a very difficult vaccine to make.
Dr. Hebert says there are many companies in clinical trials for an RSV vaccine. He's the principal investigator on one, but study protocol does not permit him to say which one.
We are at a point now where we're gathering data and analyzing the data. And so, if something were to happen, a company could put emergency use authorization.
As for Pfizer, the company says it will turn over its findings to the FDA this year in hopes that the first RSV vaccine could be out next winter. And we'll let people know when that is, and we're glad to have Dr. Hebert join our team here at Channel 4. Now, Dr. Hebert cautions that seniors, especially with chronic illness like COPD or asthma or weakened immune systems, they're also at risk for RSV. It takes the lives of more than 10,000 adults every year.
All right, Meg.